Calling headquarters. Come in, headquarters. Over.
Come in, Tom. Bill to Tom. Come in, old boy.
I'm flying the copter along the Lumberjacks Highway, and right now I'm looking at a 1.5-ton truck. Crashed into some trees on a curve. Better take a look, Bill.
Right. We'll be on our way at once. Any sign of life?
No, not a sign.
There's a truck up ahead, Bill.
Yeah, that looks like one of Frenchie's trucks. Hey, I wonder who was driving it.
We'll know in a minute.
His brakes must have give out. Nobody in his right mind come barreling down here at that fast a clip.
Here's the driver. Why, it's George. Get a crowbar out of the truck, Stumpy, and we'll pry this door open and get him to the hospital. How you feeling now, George?
Oh, pretty good, Bill. Kind of trembly.
Doc says you just got bruised up a bit. Nothing serious. Sure thankful for that.
You had close call, George.
You said it, Grey Wolf. Boy, I sure was scared when I found out the brakes wouldn't hold.
Cal, what brings you here? Checking up on the accident?
No, Bill. Something much more serious.
Huh? What's the matter? What's wrong?
Only this, Bill. My theory's proved itself right again. These reform school kids are no good.
Now, just a minute, Cal. We've been friends a long time, but let me tell you...
No, Bill. You let me tell you. You know there's a $2,500 payroll missing from the truck this kid was driving?
No.
You heard me.
George, is this true?
I don't know. I forgot about the payroll. It was in the truck when I crashed. That's all I can remember until I woke up here in the hospital. But I didn't take it. Please believe me, I didn't take the payroll. Honest, I didn't. I don't do things like that anymore.
Yeah, sure. That's what they all say when they're caught in a trap.
Cal, are you sure the payroll's missing?
Absolutely sure. And George Bruce, just as soon as the doctor releases you, I'm locking you up. You're under arrest for robbery.
All right, fellas. Now let's get out and search the whole area around the smashed truck. We've got to find that money.
Or that kid's had it if we don't.
Yeah.
Hey, this is going to take some looking, young feller. There must be 1,000 places that money could be. And every nook and cranny's been gone over already.
Not true. Manila envelopes shouldn't be hard to find this time of year.
Let's work out from around the truck into an ever-widening circle. Search for about 200 yards around.
I don't know, Bill. It looks like money isn't here.
We've got to make sure. Let's start all over again.
Okay, Bill, you're the doctor, but we looked pretty carefully the first time.
Yes, Tom, I realize that. The one place we didn't look on the first search may be just the place where we'll find it.
Yeah, you could be right.
Why, you low-down sideline and polecat trying to fight me with
Hey, Stumpy's in trouble. Let's go.
Stumpy, what matter? What you shoot?
I shot this here sidewinded copperhead. Trying to use my hand for a pincushion, ornery critter.
Look at the size of that copperhead. You don't see them that big usually.
I'll say not. You were fortunate, Stumpy. They don't give any warning before they strike.
Our body coloring perfect for this time of year.
Yeah. Well, this one'll have to get along without his head for the rest of his life.
Come on, fellas. One more careful search, and then we'll head back to town. I want to go over to the jail and have another talk with George. George, you're sure you're telling the truth? You wouldn't let me down, would you?
Please believe me, Bill. I didn't take the money, and I don't have the slightest idea where it is. I guess you didn't find it either, did you?
No, young fellow, we didn't. We didn't leave a stone, stick, rock, or log unturned. I'm certain now that the money's gone.
Well, it looks pretty bad, doesn't it?
Yes, George, I'm afraid it does look bad for you. All the evidence points one way. And the worst fact of it all is that only you and Frenchie and the paying teller knew you had the money.
Oh, if only I hadn't been knocked unconscious.
Yeah. Well, there's only one thing you can count on.
Well, what's that?
I believe you. And I won't rest until I find out where that money went.
Say, did you hear the story that's going around town about Bill Jefferson backing up the Bruce kid as being innocent in this lumberjack payroll robbery?
Yeah. I think that ranger's crazy. He'll only get himself in bad trying to defend that boy.
Hello, Bill.
Hi, Ed. How's the banker these days?
Well, I'm fine. But I can tell you of one ranger that's not doing so hot.
Huh? What do you mean?
I mean this, Bill. You're way off base with the Bruce boy. He's guilty, Bill. And if you're wise, you'll drop the whole business before you get yourself in bad with the folks in town.
Thanks for the advice, Ed. I believe the lad's innocent. I aim to prove it.
How are you going to do that?
Right now, I don't know. But I'm going to do it, and I will.
You know something, fellers? I'm just a mite bit worried about Bill. I think he's jumped on the wrong wild horse this time, and he's liable to get throwed.
I think maybe you're right, Stumpy.
Now, wait a minute. Bill's never wrong about one thing, and that's his judgment of human nature.
No, that's right, but, young feller, a man has to be wrong sometime in his life, and I'm beginning to believe this is it.
I'm afraid Stumpy right, Tom. After all, look how carefully we searched the area of crash and found nothing. George says he was knocked out all time until we got there. He could be stalling behind good excuse like that.
No, I don't agree with you. There's some other answer to this whole thing. An easy answer, maybe. But where it is, I don't know.
I don't either, Tom. But I'm going to find it.
Now, Bill.
Bill.
Hey, how'd you get in here, Bill? I didn't hear the door open, and I ain't deep yet.
I reckon you heard what we said.
Yes, fellas. I can't say that I blame you very much. Only I'm sorry you don't have more faith in George.
Well, I hope we're wrong, Bill. But it's beginning to look like George took the money.
Hey,
Carl, what's the matter?
what's the matter? Look at this newspaper and you'll see what's the matter.
Huh? Great Scott. Look at those headlines. They're really out to get me, aren't they?
Well, you're the whole front page. Everybody wants to know what's wrong with Ranger Bill Jefferson.
This proves it, fellas.
Proves what, Bill?
We've got to find that missing money. And remember, in this country, a man's innocent until he's been proved guilty. I don't want to make you keep going over and over this story, George. It's no more pleasant for me than it is for you.
Sure, I know, Bill. You're trying to help me.
Now, think hard. What little detail have you missed that might trip the answer for us? Start from the beginning.
Well, let's see. Frenchie told me to go to town, and I called Blackie, and we got in the
Huh?
truck.
Blackie? Who's Blackie? You never mentioned anyone else in the truck besides yourself.
There wasn't. Blackie is the lumberjack's mascot dog.
Oh, that's it. That's the clue we've been waiting for.
You mean the dog might have something to do with it?
Well, it's possible.
But how would he...
I don't know, George. I don't know anything. But I'm going to find out. I'm going to the lumber camp right now and have a talk with Frenchie's boss.
You've got a lot of nerve, Bill. You and my big-hearted foreman. Why, if he wasn't so essential to my operation, I'd fire him right now. Not only have you been responsible for the loss of my payroll, but you want me to take part in some crazy harebrained stunt.
Well, are you through ranting and raving now, Jim?
I'm sorry.
What are friends for unless they understand one another, huh? You haven't hurt my feelings just because you let off some steam. I'm glad you did let it off in front of me because I understand how you feel.
You really mean that, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Then that rates you my cooperation. Let's get the dog and make the test.
Wonderful. Now, you say the dog is taking messages back and forth from time to time. Then this has got to work. Now, here's a manila envelope, just like the one the bank teller put the money in.
Okay, let's go.
You get the idea, don't you, Jim? Just take the dog to the scene of the crash, put the envelope in his mouth, and see where he goes.
Mm-hmm, if you want it that way. Sounds crazy to me.
Here, Blackie. You got it? Atta boy.
Great Scott, Bill. You may be right. He's heading right for the camp.
What'd I tell you?
But we still haven't got the money.
Just be patient for 10 more minutes. I think we'll have the answer to that one. Let's get in the car. Well, here we are, Jim.
Bill, I can't believe it's that simple.
Well, maybe not. Here's the kennel right over here. Blackie. Give me that envelope, Blackie. Come on, boy. Atta boy, thank you. Well, there's one envelope, Jim.
That's the one we just gave him. It's empty.
Yeah, I know. Blackie, the other envelope. Come on, boy. Bring it out here. Come on, boy. Atta boy. Well, Jim, there we are. The lost payroll.
Bill, that's wonderful. Oh, the most beautiful $2,500 you ever saw.
Jim, there's something more wonderful than that. The reputation of an honest boy.
George, you're free. And let me be the first to apologize for being a stubborn fool.
It's all right, Sheriff. You were only doing your job, I guess.
Come along, son. Let's go home.
Sure, Dad, but just a minute, please.
All right, son.
Bill, I want to thank you for all you've done for me. You've proved to me that it pays to be honest and straightforward. You've shown me that the truth always wins out in the end.
You can't always believe the facts, can you, boys and girls? That is, not unless you're absolutely certain you have all the facts. Because one missing fact can throw the whole truth out of balance. We'll see you next week for more adventure with Ranger Bill!